noticed, and it depends on when you went to the website to get the rainy day coupons. Hello, yes, it's real. So it depends on when you went to the website to get it. I put a rainy day coupon link right at the top. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. You guys are so proactive, you probably got it like 3 days ago when it was buried underneath. So I realized that there was no really good place for it. I had it down on week 3, buried by your first project, and that was the only place. I kept talking about these things, and you guys were like, okay, great. But so there it is. I put that up top for you. Also, a question on, you guys totally crushed the out-of-class part. I mean, I speak on averages, but I mean, totally crushed it. I mentioned, as you guys were coming in, that the highest percentage of you ever got the extra credits on there. I usually get 1 or maybe 2 people going for those. And nobody's ever tried the factorial one before, which is the goofy 2013 exclamation point. A couple people try the skew. They'll figure out the skew. A couple of you did it by hand. Some of you found the Excel command for it, which is pretty easy. It's skew. But the 2013 exclamation point, as soon as I type that, as you know, I type like I talk. So that's why they're 8 pages long, because I think me and Natalie communicate the same way. Yeah, right? So I type not in MLA format, I type in Italian-American format. So in 2013 I was excited, and then I remembered that there's a mathematical symbol called a factorial. And you're going to learn about this in your 3rd project, which is a few weeks away. But if you put an exclamation point after a number, it means start with that number and multiply by each successive number down until you get to 1. So 2013 bang, or factorial, is 2013 times 2012 times 2011 times 2010, all the way down to 1. And that ridiculous footnote that you saw that took up half of that 1 page is the value of that. I had to go find a great big number calculator online to actually show me all the digits. Because if you do it in your TI, it just farts out. It says overflow. Your TI can't go above 70 bang. 70 times 69 times 68 is too much for it. So you can imagine going to 2013. And it's interesting, the reason why we care about that number, I'll give you a little preview as to where we're headed in week 8, which I think is when that project is due. The reason why you care is when you guys look at things like passwords. You know, how many of you guys have had to change your password at COCC since you've been here? A couple of you. Sometimes companies will make you change passwords. Like your bank, for example. Probably, I'm assuming, if you use your bank, if you do online banking, I bet your bank makes you change your password every 3 months or so. Why do they do that? Security. And oftentimes, not only do they make you change your password, they make you change it to a password that's more complex. I've often signed up for like cloud storage devices. They say put in a password, and I type my normal 4-digit password. Like, it's not good enough. So I add like a number to it. Then I type my son's birthday on and the little message comes back. This is all numbers. Put some letters in there. I'm like, you son of a bitch. And then I realize what they're doing. What they're doing is they're creating a factorial number of possibilities, which makes it harder for a supercomputer to crack. And this is pretty much a big chunk of what your 3rd project is about analyzing that, and particularly your banner password, the requirements for your banner password at COCC. You should feel really good about the fact that they have the requirements they do, because you'll see why when you get there. But that multiplication idea, you're going to hit it in Project 2 quite a bit, and you're really going to hit it in Project 3. So it's, I call it super counting, because it's counting without kind of using your fingers except as placeholders for multiplication. So there's an old story kind of tied to that. The inventor of the game of chess, I'm sure this is the inventor of the game of chess was asked by the king of the land that the guy lived in, what would you like for repayment for this wonderful game that keeps us occupied for hours? And the servant who created the chessboard goes, well, here's a chessboard. If you would, give me 1 sheaf of wheat for the first square on the chessboard. Then give me 2 sheafs of wheat for the next square. Then give me 4, and then give me 8, and then give me 16, and fill the chessboard. That would be ample payment. And the king goes, let it be done. Not realizing that is trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions of sheafs of wheat by the time you get to 64. And there's an old, because of the power of multiplication. Well, that's the thing. Here's a guaranteed way to win $1 at a bar sometime. If you get into a discussion about hourly wages and summer jobs and things like that, and somebody wants to offer you like a landscaping job for the summer, like say for a month, right? And they say, well, I'm willing to pay you $10 an hour. And you say, you know what, I want $100 an hour. And they go, jeez, I'm not paying you $100 an hour. Better idea. I'm working for July, right? 31 days. Give me a penny when I show up on the first day. Just a penny, that's all I want. Give me 2 cents on day 2. Give me 4 cents on day 3. I'll work weekends. I'll work through lunch. But I'll work all 31 days. So 8 cents on day 4, 16 on day 5, 32 on day 6. Get them to sign a contract in the bar. Notarize it as quickly as you can, because you will have something like $31 million by the end of, maybe it's billion, I forget if it's million or billion, it's ridiculous. Because the exponential growth of the multiplication by the 2, by the 2, by the 2, by the 2, just gets ludicrous by the end. And that's what I call super counting, keeping track of that. And that's what your second and third projects are. Your third project in particular is all about, is that ideas of kind of quantifying super counting. So, try that sometime, right? And we can special comments. All right. How are we?
Yes, quite nice. Happy Halloween. I see we're celebrating, Mr. Natalie. I see you all dressed as American college students. Nice, well done. Yes.
So today, I got your take-homes, like I said, they were fantastic. If anybody's curious about any points, just come see me at the break. I graded these. I tend to grade all your exams and whatever the graders don't want to grade. They, like I said, they get paid hourly. They like taking as much as they can, but these scare them off. And I'm glad, because I like grading these. I like this. I like the fact that you guys know that somebody that's with you all the time is grading a big chunk of your grade. So anyway, if you have any questions or concerns, just grab me at the break and we'll chit-chat about it. I love the responses. I mean, my favorite part about the out of class is the range of values I get for questions like, what would you say? Now hopefully you've made peace with the fact that as long as you said something in those, you end up with the points. Like that's because I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's one right answer to. My neighbor asked me how many eggs I get. What should I tell him? And I got the most amazing responses. Some of you just said, I get an average of 3. Cool, that's what it is. Some of you say you get an average of 3 plus or minus 1. That's kind of what it is too. You know? And some of you said, well, it depends. In January, you get like 1 or 2 a day, maybe. And then as it starts getting warmer, you get more. Just FYI, I think it actually has less to do with the warmth than the light. I've done some research into this. I think chickens actually react to light changes, not heat changes. It's coincidental that light and heat both change. But the big hen houses, I found this out kind of in a sad way, the big hen houses keep lights on all night. Not heat lamps, but lights on all night, and they force the chickens into a cycle where they think it's daytime all the time. It makes them lay more eggs. They don't get that resting cycle that like a normal backyard chicken would get. So I think it's light, not heat. But regardless, people said as the year winds on, you get more eggs, and then it's getting to a maximum in April of. These are great responses. They're all great because you're all thinking about the statistics. That's what you have to do, is think about the numbers that are coming at you. They're coming at you left and right all the time. All the time. I sat in a writing class yesterday. It's so great. You know, I'm going to hold that story till later, because that ties in more when we're talking about later. But it's amazing how all you have to do is sit down somewhere and listen for 10 minutes, and statistics come flying out. Oh, I heard that. Okay, then you listen. Don't just jump on it like, listen. See what they're saying, and then fact check it. And then don't come at them like, you're wrong. Come at them like, did you think about this? Because this happened in a writing class yesterday. I was observing one of my colleagues' writing classes, and I heard this great discussion about caffeine and energy drinks. And it was just totally awesome, and we'll talk about it later when we get into Jared and Subway. But it's very, very interesting how people can misconstrue, even college students can misconstrue data coming at them if they don't know how to kind of classify it or weight it. And that's what I did for them in class, and their eyes just kind of like bulged open when I showed them this data set that I found as they were talking. I was on my smartphone looking up data sets because I'm a freak. And I just handed the smartphone to them like, oh. It kind of caught them off guard, because they were accepting what was presented to them, not the rest of what was there, but what wasn't being presented. It's called death by anecdote. Death by anecdote. Somebody just gives you every piece of evidence that proves their point, but conveniently hides everything that might confound that point, right? So you go find the rest of it and put it all in one big piece, and you begin to realize, oh, maybe there isn't a claim there. Or maybe there is. But at least you can argue it kind of intelligently. More on that in a bit. So anyway, take-homes were great. I forget what quizzes were due today. I have no idea. Were they okay? I've moved quizzes around for so long now. All my classes have quizzes getting pushed back and forth. And
the one where you're supposed to find margin of error.
Oh, it was in the reports. We had what is the maximum margin of error, things like that. Okay, good. So there wasn't much calculation to do in that. It was all given to you in the study. Great. I put 2 up for next week because I think what's going to happen is we're going to have, I put a relative position one up, which is what I'll take questions on first, any questions you guys have on that first. And then I put an Outliers one up as well. So we'll have 2. We might push the due date on that Outliers one back a day till the following week. We'll see how class goes today. But I put 2 up because I promised you guys I'd have 2 for you next week. And we'll have an in-class as well next week. So we'll have potential of 3 quizzes next week, which is great. I like the in-class quizzes. I haven't gotten them back yet. Like I said, the girls, the grade 4 me want to grade the in-class quizzes that we did last time, the great ones that you guys did with the box plots on the board. But y'all probably got 10s on that. As long as you put 5 numbers down, you got 10. Because they don't know what numbers you've got, so they can't check for the correctness of the number. As long as you put 5 numbers down, you get 10 points. So you gain. Well, yeah, I didn't tell you that, though, did I? Until now, because I'm a bastard. So anyway, what questions do you guys have